What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about can Nordic countries understand each other? This is a really interesting video that caught my attention. There are three people. There's one from Norway, one from Sweden, and one from Denmark. And they are going to talk to each other and try to see how much they can understand each other's native language. And this is just super interesting to me because I know Norway, Sweden, and Denmark are very unique countries, and yet there is this common thread of language between the three countries that I don't fully understand. So I thought it'd be really cool to see this video, to see how much Norwegians, Swedes, and people from Denmark can actually talk and understand speaking different languages and how much they're related. So, with that being said, let's take a look.
Hello, my name is Benny. I'm from Norway.
Hello, my name is Josephine and I'm from Sweden.
Hello, my name is Sophia and I'm from Denmark.
Yep.
I think Norwegian and Swedish is very similar.
And we can understand each other pretty good.
Danish.
That's interesting. So Norwegian and Swedish are very similar. And they're saying that in particular, so I'm guessing Danish is a bit different. I mean, Norway and Sweden are literally like this, like right against each other. So that kind of makes sense to me.
Is a lot more different. My mom is half Danish. I tried learning Danish one point in my life, but I did not have the patience for it.
Yeah, I agree, but there are some crossover similarities, I think, between speaking and writing. Like, why was it difficult learning?
So Danish is a lot more different. This is so interesting because all this language stuff is so different to the United States and how Americans think. Like, Americans, for better or worse, we don't really have to think about other languages. We just learn English. I wish we were bilingual, like most Norwegians know Norwegian and English. Americans just know English, and a lot of the world seems to know English, and English is pretty, much the same. It's pretty much the same in a lot of places around the world. So I've never even thought about this and how languages like Norwegian and Swedish and Danish can be similar, but also different. It's very interesting.
Like, learning Danish.
Because the way you speak for a Swedish person speaks so far back. We usually say that Danish sounds like they have a frog in their mouth.
Mostly hard.
Is that an insult? Is that... Wow. So, oh my gosh, this is just interesting to think about language. Swedish people feel like they speak in the back of their throat. Danish people more in the front of their mouth. I've never even thought about language like being in different places in your mouth. Okay.
Potato.
Yeah,
Potato in your mouth.
That's what we say.
We say frog.
Okay, can Scandinavian countries understand each other's language? Denmark.
Hej, jeg hedder Sofia. Jeg er fra Danmark. Jeg kommer mere specifikt fra København. Jeg kan godt lide at tegne i min fritid. Jeg har en hund, som jeg godt kan lide at gå tur med. Så min livret er...
I'm sure this is kind of interesting for Norwegians who are listening to this, but for me, I have no idea what is being said or what's going on.
Japansk ramen. Det tror jeg, det er min yndlingsret. Hvad med jer?
She has a dog.
And she likes to take walks with that dog.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, so this was the Danish person going first, and the Swedish and the Norwegian said that Danish would probably be the most difficult for them to understand. It's the most different of the three languages. And yet they've already picked up some things about how she said the word dog and going on walks.
My name is Sophia.
You were from Copenhagen.
You have a dog that you like to go with walks.
You said you like drawing and that your favorite food is Japanese donuts. When you said favorite food, like livsrätt.
Yeah.
We don't have the exact same word for it, but it's very like you can understand it from the words you use.
Yeah.
This is so cool. I wonder man, is there anything like this with English? Like, I can't even imagine what this sounds like to a Norwegian. Does it sound like someone who is using a Norwegian word like every so often? And Norwegian words that have been changed a little bit? Is that from a Norwegian's point of view or a Swede's point of view? Is that what Danish sounds like? Their language, but a little broken up? Or I can't even imagine.
Word for dog, hund, is same,
Okay.
pronounced differently.
Yeah.
In Sweden, it's pronounced hund.
In Danish, it's pronounced hund.
Okay, so this is
Hej, jag heter
Sweden.
Josefin, jag kommer från Sverige. Jag gillar också att måla. Min favoritmat är fisksoppa, som min mamma lagar.
I think that was fairly easy to understand.
Wow.
You
Wow, it seems like the Norwegian and the Dane instantly understood the Swedish. That's very interesting how this works.
Your name is Josefine. You also like to draw and paint.
And you said your favorite food is fish soup that your mom made.
In Swedish,
Of course, there's fish soup in this. Very, very Nordic. Not American at all. Fish soup. Okay.
food is mat.
And Norwegian food is also mat.
In Danish, food is mad.
Mat, mot, and mel. It's similar, but it's still pretty different. I'm not sure. That the Danish is a bit different.
Mad. Well, because she said fiskesuppe, but in Swedish, fish is basically almost also the same word,
Yeah.
and suppe is also almost the same word, and it's
Okay.
fish soup. So I thought, well, that's probably what it was.
I recognize the word male, paint. So obviously, since it's the same, I was like, oh, she likes painting.
Måla.
So they're able to use the context of the sentence to figure out what each other are saying, even if Norwegians and Swedes and Danes can't perfectly understand each other. There's enough there that you can kind of figure out the context, figure out what they're trying to say based on the context.
Måla.
Okay.
Hej, jag heter Benedikte. Jag kommer från Norge. Hobbyn
Norge. I probably know the most Norwegian, and I heard her say Norge.
min är att synga. Favoritmaten min är som regel allt som är starkt. Eller gärna koreansk mat.
You said your name, that you're from Norway.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's all I understood is her. She said her name and that she's from Norway.
Hobby is singing.
Wow.
And that your favorite food is spicy food.
Okay.
Like the Korean food.
Stark.
Stark.
Stack.
Like most
The word spicy is the same. How random.
words sounds very similar. The word for sing is a little different.
Okay.
You said sing.
Singe.
In Swedish, sjunga. Because we have a few, like we pronounce certain letters together, it becomes different sound. What makes Swedish hard.
In Danish, we say synge.
But I still understood it because I know what Norwegian sounds like.
Oh, that's a whole part of this as well that I didn't even think about. Norway and Sweden are so close to each other that Norwegians and Swedes probably grow up hearing each other's language a bit. Is that fair to say? So that probably helps a lot as well.
I think it's really funny, the wording. You say hobby min, while we would say min hobby
Yeah, that's what we also
instead
would
of
say.
saying.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So sometimes they even say words in different order, depending on what language. Same words, but different order. The grammar is different, which makes sense.
Vad heter din hund?
Min hund, hun hedder Joy, snart 8 år gammel, og hun er en skotsk terrier. Hun er hvidefarvet. So did you understand what I said?
Yeah, I did. I'm impressed that I understand.
Josephine asked me the name of my dog, and then I added some information.
Yeah.
Man, it would be so interesting to just hear what they are hearing. What does it sound like when you hear a language that's very similar to your language, but different? What is that like? I wish I could know. I'm so curious.
A lot of information.
about her.
Her dog's name is Joy, and she's 7 years old. 6? And okay, she's a number year old.
My dog is 8 years old, almost. I said soon 8 years old.
Okay.
Snart 8
that
år
was
gammel.
why. 8.
In Danish it's 8.
Du sa at du liker å tegne. Hva liker du å tegne?
Jeg kan rigtig godt lide at tegne på min iPad. Så digital tegning primært.
iPad.
Så kan jeg godt lide at tegne mennesker eller objekter. Sådan noget som kaffekopper eller frugt. She asked me.
This is so interesting. It makes me I feel like they're actually doing a pretty good job of understanding each other. The Nordic countries represented here are all having a pretty good time understanding each other decently. So does that mean people from Norway can like watch Swedish television, or can people from Sweden like listen to Norwegian music and understand, or is that at all common thing to do, since the languages are not the same, but there's enough similarity? It feels like they can understand each other pretty well. I'm pretty surprised.
You said you like to draw. What kind of stuff do you like to draw?
She said I like to draw on my iPad. And that she likes drawing maybe like people or objects like coffee cups, something else I couldn't understand.
And fruit.
Fruit?
Yeah, fruit.
Oh, the Swedish person understood. Seems like the Swede can understand the Danish better than the Norwegian. I don't know if that's representative or if that's just them in particular.
That's right. So in Danish, fruit is frugt. What is it in Norwegian?
Frukt. In Sweden is frukt. Yeah, we're very similar, but should we do the action?
Oh, can they read? Oh, that's interesting. I want to know. Can they read each other's language?
Springa runt I rummet.
Huh? What was that?
Hvis du skulle vælge en anden ret end fiskesuppe, hvad skulle det så være som livret?
No, I don't know. I know that you asked about the fish soup, like something to have in it, or like to it.
I asked if you had to choose another favorite food
Than
fish soup, then what would it be?
I just realized I can't skip over this fact. I just realized all three of them speak amazing English, which I didn't even mention. I'm so used to Norwegians being so great at English and being bilingual. I didn't even mention the fact how amazing it is that they're all able to have a conversation so well in English, all these Nordic countries. So I'm guessing that's very common in Sweden and Denmark and of course Norway, for everyone to learn English. That's so amazing, and as an American who only speaks English, I really appreciate that. And I'm actually a bit jealous, honestly. I am jealous that Americans don't get taught 2 languages or more. It seems like we're content with English just because it is very popular, and I kind of wish it was different. Like, it'd be cool to speak 2 languages, and like good for you, I think.
Okay. Jag tycker om hemmagjorda biffar också med brunsås och potatismos.
There was some words that I didn't understand, the first part. But the second part, I think, like some sort of beef with brown sauce, like gravy and potato.
Okay, so the Danish woman is having a lot of difficulty understanding the Swedish and the Norwegian. And they're having a lot of difficulty with the Danish. So that's a big takeaway for me, is Norwegian and Swedish are much more similar than Danish is.
What's the word in English?
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I understood everything except for the first word before beef, but otherwise it was very...
Hemmalagat.
Oh, the Norwegian did understand the Danish. Now, I feel like I don't even know. It's kind of random. Sometimes they totally understand, and other times it's a lot harder. I wonder why that is.
Homemade.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, of course.
What is fruit in your language?
Du sa att du gillar att sjunga. Vilka låtar gillar du att sjunga?
Jeg er veldig glad i å synge ballader. Spesielt koreanske sanger av koreanske artister.
Wow.
Og jeg synes det er veldig morsomt å lære nye sanger. She remembered that I liked singing, so she asked me what songs I like to sing.
She likes to sing ballads and like Korean songs.
Yeah, I mean, they they understand each other like perfectly. I think that's pretty amazing, honestly. 2 separate languages that they're speaking, and they both understand. So if you're Norwegian, you basically speak 3 languages. You speak English, Norwegian, and kind of Swedish. And Swedes kind of speak Norwegian, but not really, but you can understand each other. Like, it's so fun.
It's impressive. Did you say something else?
Yeah, I said something else. Jeg synes det er morsomt å synge.
No, I don't know what that is.
It's fun to sing, right?
Fun to sing.
Huh.
So, morsomt, we have the same word.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We use it as well. Morsomt. I din hjemby, hvad kan du så godt lide at lave i weekend?
I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, see, now, randomly, she has no idea what was said in Danish. It's very hit or miss. It's kind of random.
Sorry.
I thought it was fun. I knew I wouldn't understand everything you said, but like I'm also surprised that I understood as much as I did.
Yeah.
Because I know, like for me, Danish is very hard to understand.
I think it was very interesting to learn how much I could actually understand you guys.
Yeah.
Because before I came here, I didn't realize I could understand Danish so well.
Yeah.
Because before I used to be very bad at listening to it. But from the beginning, of course, Swedish was very understandable. But yes.
That's so interesting to me. So interesting. I don't know. Maybe this is kind of surprising to other Norwegians or Swedes or people from Denmark, how much you can actually understand each other. Like, the Norwegian came in thinking she wouldn't really understand Danish. But here in person, she did a really great job. And apparently Norwegians and Swedes are, like, pretty familiar that they can understand each other. I don't know. The whole relationship of language here is fascinating.
That was a very interesting thing.
Even though we live so close to each other, it's like rare to be one from each country all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Like she said, how there is, when you finally get a Norwegian, a Swede, and a Dane all together talking, it's amazing what they discovered about how much they have in common with language.
This is also kind of interesting because now we know we kind of understand. So
Yeah.
today we talked about to see if we could understand each other's languages. If you like this video,
Please like and subscribe.
Wow, there you have it. That was really cool. That was by World Friends, and I gotta give that a like, because that was so interesting. It seemed like at the end, these 3 girls were really pleasantly surprised by how much they could actually understand each other, which I think is awesome, but I'm also a little surprised that they didn't know this already. Is it that rare for Swedish people and Norwegians and Danish people to talk to each other? Is it that rare that that they had never really discovered this before? But either way, it was really cool that they did this and that they discovered that they have a lot more in common than they think, which is really, really interesting and really cool. So I enjoyed this quite a bit. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with how much you could understand what was being said, how much you think the languages are different or similar. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.